Okay, today what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade the boat. This particular motor is 2003, today being 2018. It's 15 years old. I'm amazed that it lasted that long, mostly because I didn't use it that much. It got less than 200 hours on it, I imagine. But it is 15 years old, and I had very little problem or no problem. So the salt water did not destroy this thing, but probably aged it. The way you get that done is basically you get this screw out, you get these collars out, you go in here, you open this face. When you pull it out, the wires are all labeled, and this one is you can click, turn it, and then new one that I'm going to put in there will be more like a dimmer, so it won't click. This particular one inside the shaft, it got 5 wires going through it, and the new one is going to be 2 wires. All wires are labeled on the switches, so it will say positive, negative on it, or brown or green or whatever. So if you got the clicker type, when you open it up, you can just plug it in. Now the hard part is going to be that right here, I'm going to change the shaft on a new one. To lower my costs, I managed to get a transom style, and it's 42-inch shaft. So I paid $30 for the shaft, and I'm going to change the shaft. To get the shaft change, you will heat it right here. You will heat it, and then you spin this thing, it's threaded in, and you open it, and then you use red Loctite to seal it. Now going from 42-inch to 60-inch, that means we will be extending the wires as well. So that's where the hard part is. So we're going to go ahead and get started right now. The weather cooled off. It's summertime. I was too scared to come out because it gets almost 100 degrees here in Texas in July, and we are in July. So let's go ahead and do it, and hopefully everything will work out as planned. Never does, but we're gonna hope. As you can see, the head has been opened. You pull these wires out. We already removed the head wire, and then you take these collars out, and the shaft should just pull out completely, and make sure these are loose. So we'll go to the next stage. Hey, this is where the shaft was. This is where this item was. We just pulled it out. This pulls out. Pull it out. That's it. And this is the cable that was with it. So you're done. Alrighty. Okay, as you see, this is a minkota, but it is a transom, which I do not want. It's 42-inch. It's going to be changed to 60. Same power. It's only 55 12 volts. That's all I need. My boat is only 2,500 pounds. That's plenty for me. So anyway, we're going to open it up. We haven't. The reason we did that is because I can get a 60-inch shaft, and I can save almost $300 because they wanted me to buy the whole system all over. The deployment, the motor, everything. That was I paid $300 during Christmas for this, which is retail for $379, and I'm going to do this inside the house because the kids are not here, and I have to buy this shaft right here. Okay, So anyway, let's do it. Well, these connections have to be changed, obviously. No good. And this needs to be removed. And apparently these handle probably needs to be added, so I need to read some books or something. It comes with a prop. So let's see. Talk to you later. Okay, we're going to take the prop out to protect the prop from being broken or damaged. You can either spin this thing or use a 1/2 inch. So that's it. You got a washer, and then there is a pin that is on the other side. You just hit the prop. These are tough props. They're not going to break. Anyway, prop is out. Here's the pen. This pen needs to be center and is brand new, so it's moving real easy and it can fall out. So we're going to pull it out, okay? We're going to continue. Okay, the internal is rather easy. So you have a white wire here, and there's a label that will say white, there's a label that would say red, etc. Same as the other one. It's a good idea to go ahead and take pictures. This is shows you the battery state. It's a good idea to take pictures. Otherwise, you can't remember what you did. So we get all the screws out. We pull the pins out. And then we're going to go here and take this nut out. This head will come out, and once the head comes out, this piece will come out. Then we're going to go heat the end, and hopefully that will undo. We need to heat it to about a couple of 100 degrees with a torch. Talk to you later. Well, there's some basic clips here. Make sure you keep the wires all in order. Here's the clip. It's holding these wires. You open them up and get the wires out. And there was a clip here and a here to control the wire. That way they don't get all tangled up, okay? So let's get them out. The candle is not because I'm romantic. It's because I'm going to get a bunch of flame outs and I can use the candle to do my flame out. There was no point to, this didn't work for me, so I'm not going to protect the rod. And here we go. Wear your safety glasses. And stab the trolling motor in the ground would be the easiest way. And you're going to need a pipe wrench, okay? Spread the heat. Don't focus on one area. And hit the metal. This is metal I'm hitting, the bottom part. And somehow I'm not getting flame out. When I'm ready for flame out, I don't get flame out. But last time I got a lot of flame out. The upper part is fiberglass. The lower part is metal. And a Loctite has been added. So keep doing this, spread the heat. When you get it super hot, you will spin it. You can paint white paint to cover any damages. There will be damages. It's like surgery. But don't worry about it. It's not going to affect anything. Okay, we're going to give it a shot. Oh. Not yet. No, it's not even hot. Ah. Heat all sides. Okay, we're gonna give it a shot again. Not yet. Continue. It should come out kind of easy. And that metal is not hot, believe it or not. Got some brown spot right here. You can paint it. Here's about 100. Fahrenheit, 120. Good thing is putting it in is easy. Put a Loctite on it and you're done. Loctite red is what I use. Okay, we're going to give it a shot again. There you go. It's opening up. I think I'm going to heat it some more and start moving. Because this is fiberglass, I don't want to crack it. Probably won't, but I'm going to heat it some more. Here goes the flame out. Hit that point on it and it's not that hot, it's about 200 degrees right now. I think that's not enough. Get that tip on it, get it really going. But keep moving the flame so you can spread the heat. And like I said, the bottom part is metal. This part is metal, the upper part is fiberglass. So you don't want the flame on the fiberglass. I'm scarring it, but I don't care. You can protect it if you want. Easy peasy moving. Ow. That is done. Well, the hard part is done. And while it's hot, let's go ahead and clean that glue out so the new shaft can go in easy. All right, bye. We're gonna clean that, okay? Okay, the hard part is done. Okay. Uh, to finish the project, we need some 16 gauge connection, terminal connections, male and female, basically, if that's what you call them. They go inside of each other, opposite of each other. There's some 10 gauge ones that we bought. These are marine grade. By the way, the wires here are also marine grade. So don't use regular wires, which is made out of copper. Marine grades have 10 in them, and they are rust resistant. These are all marine grade connections and marine grade wires we're using, especially since I'm in the salt water. We need some soap, and the soap will be put inside this shaft, the new shaft, to make it lubricant and slippery so it can come out. You need some black tape and some fish wire. Now, you will bundle all the wires on this fishing tape, and you will make a very smooth aerodynamic, hydrodynamic bullet shape and lubricate the shaft, and you pull it through. And you also have to stagger. You have to stagger the wires because that way that way all the connections are not going to be in the same place. So if there was ever an issue, the positive and negative is not going to touch each other. There will be away from, like over here will be the positive, and down here will be the connection for the negatives. And negative and positive have no chance of touching each other, even if if the system came apart or something, got damaged, broken. So all the connections will be staggered. Another reason you want to do that, this tube is rather tight, and I don't have room, so they need to be staggered as well. So here we go. We're going to cut the wires and add some wires to it, okay? In order to add to it, we got to cut some, okay? That's funny. Bye. I'm very, very, very disappointed at the 55T model that Minkota makes. Look what kind of wire they're using. This is the negative wire. It's pure copper. Terrible. It should be like this, silver, which has tin in it. This is a marine grade wire. This is not. That's for. And here's the trolling motor we're working on, brand new, and it has the color of white, meaning salt water. But I'm going to be calling them tomorrow, see what their intentions are. But look at the color difference. Left is the marine grade, and this is the one they're using. Terrible. Shame on y'all. like to make them a little tighter than what they are. Almost impossible to get it out. This is why you stagger it. You have a bunch of these and you don't want them next to each other, okay? So have them separated so if they came apart, they're not going to be touching each other, okay? And go ahead and put some tape on it just to make sure, okay? You can use shrink wrap tape as well if you want to. Let me use electrical tape. Alright, we're going to do 4 of those wires. Okay, we did one connection here, one here, one here, one here, okay? And they're staggered. That way it will go through easier. Also pull on these, make sure it's tight, okay? Because this one was loose. And test them, make sure they don't come out easy and the contacts are good. So I use pliers to make it even tighter, okay? Now next is we're gonna put Ajax in the tube. We're gonna use the fish wire too, okay? Okay, I cannot do this one-handed, but this on this, okay? Put it on the wire completely, make it slippery, because it's not gonna go if you don't do that, okay? So I need both hands, I can't do it. Maybe I show it to you, let's see what happens. We forgot one wire, so I got to do one more. Now that it's slippery, I got to do one more. It's going to be fun. Alright, I might have done it. Let's see. the project you're going to do going to be easier because I'm using a very weird situation. Excessively long tube is what I'm using. You probably don't have to do that. So my job is harder than yours, most likely. Rotate the pipe as well. This tube is very tight, so my job has become very difficult at this time. Original tube is a lot easier, 10 times easier. So let's see what happens. It might work. Golly, I'm pulling, and it don't want to come. Oh. Oh! One contact broke. Did it come apart? Yep. Alrighty. Starting over. Okay, as you see, we managed to get it in and get it out. Now what we got to do is make sure these wires did not separate. So these two big wires, I assume, are power. And you need a voltmeter, put it on resistance. And as long as you get a response that the wire is going in and out, and you got a round trip on your check, that means that let's go connect this to this. Let's see if this thing moves. It's moving. So that means somehow this wire is connected to this other wire. That means we did not break the wire while we were struggling. Again, yours is not going to be that hard. This is a very tight hole, as you see. Yours is going to be more like this. You see how big yours is going to be versus mine as far as the pipe size is. Don't go there, okay? Anyway, if you notice, big difference in down. The threads are always the same on a white pipes, on a minkota. Thread size is the same. Internal is the problem. I wanted a long shaft, 60-inch. This is a 42-inch. They don't make a 60-inch, so I took it from another bigger system, like I think it was 120 pound or 100 pounds. So they made this, reinforced it much bigger. Therefore, the wires were pain in the butt to get in. This would have been easy peasy. Anyway, so now we're going to test, and we're going to put Loctite. I'm going to put Loctite on this and tighten it up. We're going to use red Loctite. And then if you don't want any scratch, you can use a pipe wrench to do this, but it will scratch it. If you don't want to scratch, just put a screwdriver in here and spin it. Probably going to be the easiest way of doing it, like this, and you can spin it and tighten the other side. So right now the test passed. We did not break the wires as we pulled it in, and we're going to continue. Put the screwdriver in the upper hole. I don't know if the shot is coming through or not. So you can spin it. Put that in the ground for leverage, so you can spin. Alright. Use the Loctite red. push down and spin. Wait till the last second to put the screwdriver on the hole on the top. That way the wires can spin freely as you spin the shaft. Right now I'm using my hand to spin it. Make sure you are straight and true. I like the pipe wrench better. I'm about to use the pipe wrench because it's gonna damage the pipe a little bit, but I'm not worried about the wires inside as much as I am right now, and I don't have to work that hard because right now I am really putting some pressure on there. And I don't know if I'm going through right now. So anyway, that's the bottom line. I like the pipeline method much better. There's no way you're going to pinch these wires and damage them. And it's easier on my body. You might have a couple of scratches on the pipe, but who cares? Job is going to be done. And you can spin like this, so you can really go fast. Let's do a shot down there. We're going to clean the excess. And we're going to check the wires again to make sure they didn't get damaged. Okay, this is tight enough. We're done. Time to put it back together and clean up. Okay, the fix was very quick. The long shafts were not tightened because I was afraid I'm going to bust the seals that they have if I make it too tight, but apparently they need to be tight. So I'm going to test it. This is what I'm using. I'm going to put some air in here, and then we're going to look. Okay. I don't see any leaks at all anywhere. So we're going to say success, and y'all have a good day. Let's go fishing. use this for fishing to get the hook out of the fish's mouth. Alright, that's the next stage. Okay, common mistakes are this hole not aligned with the ball, and they forget, or at least I do, forget to put this on before they go any further. I don't recommend putting the screwdriver in here because I'm seeing, I did it just a couple of times, I'm seeing a little damage on the wires. I don't know if it's coming in. It's not major because I didn't do it much, but use the pipe wrench, okay? So don't forget the choker. Choker goes here. Now we're going to put the bolt in here, and then we're going to put the connection here. That's the next step. We're going to put this, I guess you call it a choker or something. Make sure it's in the same direction as the other one, so the nut here and nut here are matching on the direction. So that goes in right there. Next, you put this piece in. The control wires go from here. Battery wires go from here. If you messed up, Minkota got a very good diagram. Look it up on the internet. If you have internet connection, you live, and most of you are in Canada and US that watch these shows, so you should have internet connections. Ow! Yeah, some people from Dubai, Iraq, I think these are Americans that have boats or something. I don't think Iraqis have boats, really. I'm sure some general does. But anyway, we're going to put the bolt in. So that's it. Put the nut in. Just sliced, we just put these on using this tool, and we bought 16 to 14 gauge and 10 to 12. This is the 12 to 10. These are all marine grade. The wires are marine grade because they have 10 in it. If you go back over here, all the colors are labeled for you. Okay, we have a problem because this needs to be white, but they didn't sell white, so I have it as green. And this one needs to be black wire. Pull on all the connections, make sure they're tight, they don't come out easy, so you did it right. And then this handle goes in the switch. Okay, and the position of it, again, you can go to the internet. They have a real good website, at least. That's what the position is, and I took some photos to remember, but basically it goes in like it goes in this position. Okay, and you have a collar right there, and you have this piece over here. The little piece goes on the wheel for the, and if it's, see, it's in right correctly now, and you, so hard to work one-handed, and you rotate it. There you go, rotation. Okay, and you just do the connections from the back, and make sure they don't get pinched, and close the lid. You're done. Again, all these are labeled, okay, like it says black, white. Everything is copper except these two because it's power. Now your power comes through these holes right here, and make sure you get in the correct order. So if you're going to the back, and you're trying to connect the positive here, you can get the wires in backward is what I'm trying to do. Make sure you get it done right, correctly, okay? We're done. We're going to connect the wires. We're going to bring the power. We're going to close the top, okay? Have a good day. Okay, special attention where these wires come out, they go through this notch. There's a notch where it goes around, comes out. And you have notches here. This is one wire goes, okay? See that notch? I just pushed the wire in because when you close the lid, you do not want these things to get pinched and destroyed. So now, basically wires go through here, it comes out, and this wire goes through here. So we're done. We're going to close it, okay? How many times I say we're done? Okay, we had some difficulty putting the system back together. What we ended up doing is I soldered this piece to the wires that need to be wired, the positive and negative. This is that's how I know whether it's charged or not. You must solder the copper. You cannot I believe you cannot solder the connection, so it has to be soldered on the copper. And then we had difficulty with the positioning of this piece of plastic. There's an arrow there, and there's these cuts. Do not put them back where the arrow sits on the top. These plastic, see, you can end up putting it like this, which is incorrect. So the correct way is this. The drawing wasn't helpful, and this sits on this position, okay? Then this particular cut right here, the round circle, will go on top of this circle. It will go on top of this circle, and the other half of the circle is underneath. So once you put the lid on, it will this thing will rotate on ridges of, you got one here and one over there, and it will rotate inside this half circle. When you put it together, it will be a complete circle. And that was another difficulty we had. The wires again need to go around and be out of the way. Don't have them on here, because these if you put them, if they sit on top of here, when you bolt it, it will puncture through the wire, okay? So one wire goes in this way, the bunch goes, there's a cut right here, the bunch goes around. So those are not available, they're just experience. And I took these apart enough that I finally managed to get some idea from it. So anyway, next test will be running it. Hey, it's another day and we finished the project, but I forgot to ask you to subscribe. So I'm asking you to subscribe or press like, whichever you like, up to you. But that will get us to motivate us to create more content. Always subscribe to the creators if you like them. So y'all have a great day, and we see you on the next project.